Hello and welcome. This is Ruth and I'm back with another one of Tonic's 2023 Cyber Week launches, and this one is the Everyday Sentiments die set and the corresponding A6 stamp set. So there are 20 dies here and 15 stamps, and you could obviously use the stamps on their own in any sort of combination of these small ones and the bigger ones, but there are some dies here as well, and these larger dies here are actually designed to fit around these stamps here, and then you can use this little banner to cut out any of these, and obviously then because some of these are shorter you would just snip this off a little bit shorter as well. On this die set you'll see that there are two outlines, so I'll maybe show you it from the front here. See how this one is cut out in black, and then the first outline is in white and the larger one then is in pink. Well, that's the first outline and then the second outline. So the ones with no wording inside here fit directly over the top of these stamps, and then these ones have, I think this says friends in here and this one says thank you. And obviously you could have different things on there. We've got to and from and both of, you, us, happy, belated, me, treasure, are here again, forever, and then these ones here are anniversary, birthday, memories and days. So we've also got little flowers here, little layering flowers. You can use them sort of singly I suppose as well, but I've cut some out, and that's what this one and this one look like together, and then there's some little stems and leaves for that as well. Now I think that these would be absolutely fantastic as the focal point on a card, because the sentiments themselves, the main sentiments and the dies are just so big that if you're ever looking for a quick card, and I know that's something that we all look for quite a lot more than we actually would probably admit to, these are really the dies to go for, because you've got birthday. You know, how many times you're looking for a quick birthday card, you've just remembered at the last minute and you need it, and there it is, there's the stamp and the die is there as well, and you could put that on patterned paper and it would just look absolutely gorgeous. You could also heat emboss it, stamp it or whatever, but I think because these are so big I wouldn't take a chance with a big block for that, a big acrylic block. I would definitely use my stamping platform. That's what I'll be using anyway. So if you haven't seen the rest of the launches and whatnot, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and then you can keep up to date with all of these launches as they come, and then you can flick back and have a little look over some of the launches that have already gone before this one. Cyber Week's always fantastic because the launches are just absolutely out of this world. By the time this one comes you'll already have seen they're really beautiful. Shopping the High Street spinning box, and I absolutely love that. And then I think you will also have seen the gorgeous new memory book which was released for this, so I hope you've enjoyed that too. Anyhow, there's lots more to come even after Cyber Week, so don't forget to hit that notification bell and keep yourself up to date with all of that. And also I would really ask you, if you do enjoy it, to give the video a thumbs up and leave me a little comment down below, because I always like to keep in touch. I've said this before, but it might take me a day or two to get back to reply on this because, well, I'm sure you understand that making videos actually takes quite a long time, and I like to put, well, I do put my heart and soul into them. I do my best to get as much into it that I think that you would enjoy. So I'm quite often very busy die cutting or making videos, and it does take a little while to get back, but believe me, I always read all those messages and I'm very happy to have them. Right, I'm heading off now to do some die cutting and some stamping, and I'll be right back. I've got my stamp in my platform here, and you must leave enough room on the card that you're going to stamp it on to make sure that the die actually fits around it, so don't be putting it too close out to the edge. And I definitely don't think that I would ever be doing this without a stamping platform, because that's just too big, I think anyway, for me just to get that in the right place and make sure that it's stamped properly the first time is pretty well, do you know, it actually came out very well there even with the stamping platform, but sometimes I still have to go back a second time with that, and there's no way that you'd ever get that back in the right place if you didn't have a stamping platform. But there you are, it turned out really well there, and now I can go ahead and die cut that. have that die cut now, but I just wanted to show you, I definitely intentionally didn't press too hard down on this side of it here, just so that I could show you how you can fix this if you don't get it stamped correctly the first time and maybe you don't have a platform or whatever. It's always very, very handy to keep some kind of a pen with a fine nib on it. I've got this little Derwent line marker, but there's different ones that I have here, different thicknesses and whatever. And this is a tiny, very, very fine, it's a 0.1, and they're always very, very handy for just filling in those little gaps where you may not have stamped down properly. And even if on any occasion you get a little fuzzy line and you just want to smooth it off, all you need to do is go around it with that little pen, and there you are. Perfect. You can see here how I used the smaller die, which is really, really close to the letters, to cut that out in white card that I stamped it onto. And then I've got some cashmere, it's blue cashmere pearlescent card, and I've cut the bigger part with that, and I'm just going to glue that on top. And I'll add that piece, eventually I'll add it onto this card with some 3D foam pads. I actually made that card out of two pieces from the memory book, the newest memory book, and it's really, really beautiful, and this lovely layering pattern on top of it there. So just in keeping with the Cyber Week, I thought I'd add that on as well. So that will go on here, and I'll decide where that goes on afterwards. I stamped the happy, and as you can see, it's black with the white lettering, and then you can also see that I stamped quite a few of those out at the same time. And I've just put this long die on like that, and then I've left this little bit of a tail on here because I'm going to put it there, and I might actually put one of these smaller flower or several of them on top of that. But you'll see here that I have used the two flower dies together, so that's that one and that one, and I've cut them out several times, and I've got them all here on my little foam mat, and I'm just going to take two together each time, and I turn it over and just mold it on the other side, and then press in there. Do the same on that one, press in with a smaller ball tool. I can even press that in if I want that to have sort of a deeper fold to it, or deeper, I'm not sure what the word is, but it just sits up more, would that be the way to put it? And then take my smaller ball tool again and pop that into the center. Now I'm going to do that with quite a few of those flowers and add them around that card there, so I'll just go ahead and do that first. Got all of the little flowers debossed or embossed or whatever you like, and then I'm just going to glue this right on top there, and I've already got my 3D foam pads on the back of this, so that's all ready just to go on the card. Now just to bring that black into the rest of the card so that it's just not the sentiment in black, I'm going to add some black crystal drops to the centre of all those little flowers that I've just put on. But I've just had a little accident with my crystal drops, and I'll just tell you what happened. I left the lid off that, and some of the black solidified in the nozzle, and of course I squeezed it really hard to see if it would come out. The lid came off and the nozzle came off, and the black crystal drops went everywhere. So I haven't actually got an awful lot of it left in here, and I'm just going to be really, really careful because I had to wash it all out. And I can see there it's spurting just a little bit, so I'll just check it again here, make sure there's no more air bubbles, and I'll go on. Don't do that. If your crystal drops nozzle is blocked, don't try to squeeze it and force it. I've learned that. I've actually done that before, so I don't know why I did it again. You shouldn't really need to learn that lesson twice, but there you are. There we are. I thought for this one a little bit of faux embossing would be nice, And I have taken some green card, I think that is Fresh Mint, and this is Cobalt Blue Velour that I'm putting underneath it. So I'm going to layer this one on top of this, and I've cut out the Friends several times in the same colour here. So I'm going to put it on here, but I actually might just sort of overhang some and trim it off. So that means that I've got to glue this on before I actually glue this onto here. Otherwise I'll not be able to chop those off. So I will go ahead, and I might actually just do them randomly across the card. I think, no, I will do it like that. Yeah, this way. This is how we're going for it. I'm going to add this with double-sided tape onto the cobalt blue. I always like tape instead of glue on pearlescent or mirror card because it just keeps it nice and tidy. Sometimes you get just a fine little ripple and I don't want that, so I'm just going to pop that on there, and then I can go ahead and layer this up. Just make sure my card's the right way around too. So I've got the white background, and then I'm putting the green on top of that, and then I've cut the Friends out in the blue to tie all of that together, and I'm going to put that on there, and then I'll add it on some 3D foam pads and we'll get some foliage and flowers up through there too. I've cut out the flowers in the same colour as the back, but I like to bring all these colours in again, and they look really lovely. They kind of just pop on top of that. And now I've got some Dream Drops. So these are dragon scales, and again I've checked it there to see what it looks like earlier on, and now I'm going to just put a little drop out on a piece of card, and that sort of checks that I've got no air bubbles so that it doesn't just go all over my card. And I'm going to add those into the center here, and I think that's a rather nice card. Well, I had thought I'd finished, but I decided to come back with the dragon scales and put a little dot just on the eye of the Friends there, and sometimes you just get this in your hand and then you don't want to stop adding it in, but I think just that little tone on tone, that little green extra there, just looks really nice on that as well. So that is it finished this time. Now I want to make a card with the thank you, and I picked an A6 card, and then I have got some layering card to put on top, and this one has the greens and blues because, well, you know I'm like that. I like to have all my samples sort of similar colours so that they look okay together at the end. But I want to put this on here, and I've already got some double-sided tape on the back, but I think I would like a bow at the top, or a little bit of ribbon at least across the top of it. So before I add this layer onto this one, I'm just going to cut some ribbon and attach that to the double-sided tape at the back there. There we are. And then I can just put a little dot of glue on there to hold that piece on as well. And then I can attach this onto here, and I've die cut through that before I add it onto the white card. Now I can place this one because I know this is the way it's going to go, because the thank you will fit in there. And I'm just going to place that down here, sort of balance it from the ribbon at the top there, and pop that on like so, and run it through the die cutting machine, and that will give me the aperture right through those two layers. Now I could, if I had wanted, just cut it through the one and then we would see the green through that, but I wanted to see the white through the whole card. So now I've got some double-sided tape all along here, and you can see I've added some in here and here and a piece across there as well. Always check your card is sitting the right way up and pop that down. You could actually add glue onto that, but for this kind of thing I actually prefer the double-sided tape. And there we are. Now this is, actually these are the two pieces that came out of the centre here. So this one I know will fit perfectly straight back in again, but I want a little white border around that. So I'm taking the smaller die, this is the one that I cut this aperture out with, and I'm now going for the one that's a bit smaller, and I'm going to tape that right inside there and run that through my die cutting machine, and that will give me a smaller green die cut which I can glue into here. I might glue that, or I might actually add it on 3D foam pads, but I'll do that, and then I will cut this one in white and glue this directly on top there. Now I've added a lovely little bow up at the top there, and because this is kind of slippery, it's the Arctic Blue double satin ribbon from Tonic. It's the Craft Perfect. So I've actually added just a little bit of glue. I always do this with a slippery ribbon. Pop some glue in behind just to make sure that it doesn't come right out and open out whenever I sort of pass the card on or whatever. And then now I've taken two of these little flowers, layered them together the way I've done in the others, and putting plenty of glue on that. I'm going to pop that right in there. And then some of my dream drops on top. So that has turned out quite dimensional, and you can see there how thick that bow is up at the top with the flower and everything on top. So if you were going to post this, I would suggest that you make a little card with a card bow or something like that, even one of the bows from a different die set, or you could put the flower flat onto the ribbon and then just put little tails below it. But I kind of like that dimension, and I would use that on a card that I'm going to just hand to someone. So I hope you like that one as well. If you look through your dies and all of the bits and pieces that you have, you're going to find lots of panel dies. This is just one that was sitting on my desk, so it doesn't really relate to this at all, but you know, something like this is just absolutely perfect for putting any of those sentiments on, and you're going to have lots of those through your die sets, I would imagine. But don't forget that you can use any of those stamps without even using the outline dies. You could stamp that all over, whatever. I want to make an anniversary card this time, so I'm cutting this panel a bit shorter, so I've got a white border at the top and bottom there, and I've got some of the cashmere blue or blue cashmere there, and then some spotty paper that I had in my stash, and that's going there. And then I'm taking this beautiful big anniversary stamp, and I'm going to stamp that out onto some white card with clear mark ink, and then I'm going to use some silver embossing powder over the top of that. I've added some of the flat flowers on there. I didn't sort of give them any shape or moulding this time. Then I put some crystal drops into the centre and added some glitter on the top, and I've given it a good tap this way just to remove the excess glitter, and then whenever that completely dries I'll be able to give it a little brush with a very fine paintbrush and just remove all the excess glitter there. And there you have it, another way of using that. And actually, just as I was looking at this, I had forgotten to mention, but it's a point worth coming back to. If you die cut this area, first of all, you'll be able to set that straight onto your card and tape it down with masking tape and stamp into the center of that, and that will get you a very good line up, so you know it's going to be exactly in the right place whenever you come to die cut it. I tend not to do that because I'm always rushing on ahead, and it probably would have been better if I had have done it there. That might have been a little bit straighter. But there we are. That's it all done. There's lots of ways, as I said before, that you could use these, but I hope you've enjoyed what I've done with them. And don't forget that even with some of your other sentiments and whatnot, you could add extra pieces in with this. I'm sure we've got one that says best somewhere that you could go on here. You could have happy in a lovely little die as well as that stamp. So think creatively and maximize your usage of the die sets as well here. And don't set one on top of the other until the glitter's dry and the glue and all the rest of it. Just be careful. Whoops, nearly did it again. So there you are. That's my cards all finished, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and leave me a little comment and let me know what you've thought of this and what ways you would use it as well. I always love to hear how you think when you see a die set as well. My affiliate links to everything that I've used will be down below in the description, but another little thing, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and that way you'll not miss anything that's coming up next. And there's definitely lots more to come because I've lots more videos in the pipeline. So in the meantime, happy crafting. Bye bye.